wanted to pick you up on that last clip that we just heard there. Penny Mordaunt, Nigel Farage was asking, why should anyone trust the Tories on immigration? And she says, well, it's because of what did she just say? I just totally lost my mind.
The record of the Prime Minister.
The record of the Prime Minister. And there was laughter from the audience. What did you make of that?
Well, I'm not surprised, really, that we've got record immigration. We're talking about legal immigration here. Understandably, the Tory record hasn't been particularly good. They have all their claims about reducing immigration just haven't worked. Now, I mean, all one can say is there are proposals in the pipeline to bring legal immigration down. So, for instance, that the skilled workers visa, that's just been increased by £12,000. So it brings it to the average of a skilled worker in Britain. That will have an effect. Students aren't allowed to bring in dependents. That's going to have an effect too. But I mean, I think that we have to accept that high immigration is with us for the foreseeable future. Reform talk about bringing it to net zero by working on the basis that it's one in, one out. So people who leave the country will match the ones coming in. That still puts immigration at around 400,000 incomers. So no one really has a proper answer to this problem.
No, but at least, I mean, at least the idea of net zero is a figure. I mean, what we're not getting from anybody else is any sort of figures, realistic or unrealistic.
No, that's right. I mean, in the Tory manifesto, they're promising to bring immigration down. They're talking about putting a cap on the numbers coming in. What they're not saying is what that cap might be. They say they want to leave it to Parliament. Now, I mean, the question really about immigration is that the way we should run it is on the basis of our economic needs. That kind of means you can't put a cap on it. It just depends on what we actually require at a certain time. So, for instance, there were 150,000 vacancies in social care. You need people from abroad to come and fill those vacancies. And now we have a system whereby 40% of social care workers are from abroad.
What do you make of this poll from YouGov yesterday showing that Reform have overtaken the Tories for the very first time?
First of all, we'll have to see if other polls confirm that. This could be an outlier. If other polls do confirm it, it is a really significant moment. However, when Nigel Farage starts saying that now Reform are the official opposition, you've got to look at the figures a little bit more carefully there, because the first part of the post system means that you don't get very many MPs. So at the moment, this poll is putting Reform on 19%, the Lib Dems, for instance, on 14%. Under proportional representation, that would mean that Reform would get loads of MPs. Under the current system, they get 5 under these figures, where the Lib Dems come back into Parliament with 69. So you can see that that it doesn't translate into MPs. Therefore, claiming you're the official opposition is a bit overambitious at this stage.
Well, yes and no. I mean, I totally understand what you're saying. However, at a point in time where we don't have any MPs, it's a fair point, isn't it, to say, well, you look at the nation and more people are backing us than the Conservatives, therefore we are the big challenger.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's semantics a little bit. But...
Yeah, Stephen, in the sense of the popular vote, you're absolutely right, that obviously Reform are way ahead of the Lib Dems and are just pipping the Tories at the moment. What I'm talking about is how that would translate to any kind of power. So this poll gives the Tories 71 MPs. That's pretty dire anyway. But if Reform could only bring back a handful of MPs, they would have a limited influence on the next Parliament.